Good afternoon. Let's see. It is the 16th of January, 2025. My name is Brandon Wayne Bryant. I am a former staff sergeant of the United States Air Force. I flew drones for Joint Special Forces for years, and I am 2014's Whistleblower of the Year. And I've done a lot of things. If you're here on my page, you probably already know who I am, and you probably hate me. So, welcome. I appreciate your time and attention. Now, one of the things that I am just going to say is, I told you so. I told you so. How many times do I have to point out bad leadership and all the nonsense that has gone on in our country and my life? It's the United States government destroyed my life for pointing out an evil that they told me to watch out for. And this whole military industrial complex bullshit, the tech industrial complex bullshit, like, it's got to stop. These complexes are taking advantage of the American people and taking power that is not rightfully theirs to earn. We've, instead of going to a more free and open platform, they've restricted it and made it propaganda after propaganda. Our laws should be protecting us, not enabling the wealthy to get away with bullshit. We need to get rid of Citizens United. We need to get this barrier between the government and corporate. We need to do something. What's happening right now in America is an embarrassment. The fact that Pete Hegseth is being chosen for the fucking Secretary of Defense is an embarrassment. Every single military member that has ever fucking lived should be looking at this guy and be like, oh no. Now you have to do your sovereign duty if this guy gets put in place, is to disobey unlawful fucking orders, because this man sat there and said that he would not disobey a direct order from Donald Trump if he gave it and it was unlawful. You should be horrified. You should be absolutely fucking horrified. Yeah. I'm going to reiterate these lessons that I have taken from Sun Tzu's The Art of War, just so that you are clear on my stance on these things. Sun Tzu says that there are 5 things by which I can view any battle and determine its outcome, and they are heaven and earth, the general, which is order and discipline of the troops, and the sovereign, the reason for which we fight, and the moral law. And he says that if you have all 4 of the beginning ones and you do not have the moral law, you are guaranteed to lose. And heaven is those immutable laws which govern this universe. And earth is those changing qualities like weather and terrain that we must be aware of at all times. The general is, like I said, the order and discipline of troops. The sovereign is the reason for which you fight, or the person for which you fight. And the moral law, which is the unifying factor. If I were to grade the United States military on their last 20 years simply based off of that ancient treatise, they would have received an F. In fact, actually, if we include the rules of engagement and the laws of armed conflict in that, they would fail with a big, clear F. So how do we approach this? Because the only next step that I see, and I will be honest, is uprising of the people and the lynching of the individuals that have taken advantage of their elected positions. We're pretty much too late. In Montana, I have watched over the last decade the elected officials sell out my state to the highest bidder and then elect men who are from the out of state into positions of power that have directly destroyed all the local areas. Every local area in Montana has pretty much been destroyed by the wealthy. Um, we have a mayor who owns 12 houses, and you can't find them registered under her name because they own it under a hidden LLC. And there is a building right next to the Humane Society in Missoula, Montana, upon which over 300 LLCs exist, on which members of the governmental community in Missoula are registered to. So they shuffle money around like a show game, including the Missoula Redevelopment Agency. And I see it locally, like it's like directly in our face. I was thrown in jail for 30 days due to an idiot named Richard Lee Rynearson who made a bunch of videos about me and then said I was going to kill my city council members. Like back then I wasn't going to, but I feel it now. Like they're fucking have betrayed the American people. Like I don't think I would find more than a fraction of individuals that are in elected positions that have any sort of integrity or have done their duty for the people rather than their own fucking personal agenda. And we see with the GOP that it's really their own agenda. They don't care about what's fair. They care about their bottom line. They are the slave masters. They are the white supremacists. In my whistleblowing tenure, literally fucking 12 years ago, the people who have threatened me the most have been individuals associated with the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, which are simply rebranded white supremacy hate groups. Simply because I have compassion for my fellow fucking man. Like, men are weak. We live in a society where we have weak men. And they have to demonstrate their weakness by punishing people that are what they view as less than them and taking what they think is theirs. It's astounding that after everything that I've done in my life and how many people I reached out to, how many senators I've tried to talk to, letters I've sent out, I think that someone is stopping my letters from going through and taking them for whatever fucking reason. Like I sent a bunch to Daniel Hale and I never got a reply, and the people that I know that knew him never actually mentioned to me that he got any of my letters. I tried to send a couple to Reality Winner, and none of them got through to her either. I tried to get my mom connected with her mom, but my mom just whatever. I don't even want to talk about that nonsense. My fucking family. As if I didn't grow up around them and have a completely life-changing experience, and them just completely discarding me. Like, going through therapy, and actually TikTok is funny because I thought that I was just I just downloaded it because my governor banned it, signed a law to ban it. And I've actually learned a lot. I learned about narcissism. I learned about borderline personality disorder. I learned about psychopathy. I learned a whole bunch of psychology, just trying to figure out what the fuck I was looking at when I was researching this fucking idiot named McJagger Joseph Tyson, who took money to rape and drug my ex and turn her against me. And then when the reason I was doing research on him, because I was like, I'm gonna fight for her, and then finding out what she said about me behind my back and how she degraded me and humiliated me to please that motherfucker, like I truly loved her. Like I loved her and I waited for her, and truly a wicked and evil woman. Never have I met a woman more wicked and evil than Cami Nial Deal. Just absolutely, absolutely evil. Yeah, there's what I found out and what she said about me, and the humiliation that of waiting for her and loving her is just, and she knew what she was doing, and it's just nightmarish is what it was. And the fact that is what happened was, the reason I bring this up is because this is directly tied into my whistleblowing stuff, is that I beat that military industrial complex in their fucking shadow game against me again in the court of law, where Richard Lee Rynearson, the stupidest fucking major I've ever, he borderlines Pete Hegseth as far as like which major is more stupid in my book, and more treacherous to their fucking country. Made videos about me because his wife works for Raytheon as a litigation lawyer, and Raytheon had a personal vendetta against me because I basically lowered their income by billions of dollars through my efforts in the media and Hollywood. You don't see drones really much anymore in these places. And that's because we had a lot of concerted effort to do it. But Rynearson made a bunch of videos because he was, I don't know, jealous of me and my attention, and ended up winning in the court of law, where he literally made a video spliced together making it seem like I was going to hurt people, when I'm like telling you, if you come after me, I will fuck you up. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to hurt you. But if you cross my path and fuck with me, God must have brought you to me because your sin is fucking, your soul is fucking damned. And I'm your fucking punishment. And I don't go easy on anyone. I never went easy on any of my lovers. I want people to be disciplined and accountable for them fucking selves. And the fact that I've rarely run into men in civilian world who are capable of these things, I have like a handful of dudes that I know that have this quality of them. But the vast majority of them are these red pill, narcissistic garbage eaters. And that's what I found out about Jagger Joseph Tyson, fucking rapist of Anchorage, who calls himself a Sigma male, but he can't fucking stand his ground when confronted about his actions. Then he's like, I'm the Wolf of Wall Street of Anchorage, and I'm what was the other? The Scarface of Anchorage. Yet he's addicted to fucking benzos, never worked out a day in his life, and is a fucking alcoholic. I have a screenshot of it, but I found one of his forum posts where he was like trying to calculate lethal dosage by body weight to administer drugs to people. And luckily there were people in the forums that called him out, because that's what rapists do. But motherfucker, like, he drugged her, and him and his friends took advantage of her, and then he posted it online like a psychopath for me to find, like it was like he bragged about it. And I don't know what he thought my reaction was, but one of his dumbass friends wrote a manifesto and posted it online a year before the Luigi Mangione thing. And I was like, okay, these motherfuckers are so dumb. Like, they're so fucking dumb. He's posting it on his Instagram stories. And then as I was watching him, because you can see who's watching your stories, Like they started posting about drugging a fucking autistic woman with crack and beating her over the head and leaving her in the snow to die after they fucked her. It was horrible. Like I didn't even know what I was reading. It was they took her hair, a picture of her, cut her hair out and put Little Miss fucking Piggy on her and called her a little piggy because she just gobbled up all the drugs. Took all the drugs that they were giving her. And then they had this picture of her lying in the snow with blood behind her head and a crack pipe next to her, saying that they were going to fuck her and leave her in the snow to die after they beat her over the head. And I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? This woman hates me now after what I did, but I confronted them. I told them that if anything ever happened to her, I would rip them apart. There'd be nothing left of them. And anytime anyone whispered their name, it would be in fear of the ghost that I will become. Because studying, we'll get into some, I mean, just rambling at this point, but getting into some seriousness, like I've been chi cultivating and trying to purify my essence and fix my energy. And through this process, it works. Like there's no doubt in my mind that chi cultivation is a true thing. And I'm surprised that we've not really understood this, or maybe if we have, they've been keeping it from us. But there's this path called the resentful ghost path or the vengeful ghost path. And knowing that I have been wronged and none of the justices that I've searched for have been given to me through my fellow man, and knowing that what I have done has been virtuous enough to get me into the Pure Lands, I can actually discard my progress into the Pure Lands and ask to be reborn in the lowest hells as a vengeful deity in order to punish the wicked. And I'm pretty sure that's the path I'm going to take. Like, I will devour the fucking souls of the wicked, and I will shit them out for my celestial garden as fertilizer. And at least in that way, their energy will be put to some fucking good use and alchemicalized for the betterment of all beings. For fuck's sake. These confirmation hearings. Donald Trump is a fucking convicted fucking felon that tried to overturn our government and somehow got elected again. I watched the biopic on him, Anchorman. What was it? The Apprentice 2024. It was great. It was amazing. Sebastian Stan did a really fucking good job. And just because I'm a Marvel fan and I just constantly expected him to be like a Russian asset and it turned into like Captain America 4 or something. Like all of a sudden he was going to be the Winter Soldier and start beating the shit out of people. But no, it was great. It was a good job. It made it humanized Trump actually a lot. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Because you can just see how a deeply flawed man he is. He's not some supernatural being. He's not some god emperor of mankind, Leto Atreides III. No, he's just a broken man that tried to win his father's approval and never really got it, and instead got the approval of crooked men who encouraged him to do fucking crooked things. But the thing is about the stage of the world is these people come up onto the stage and they leave it. It doesn't continue. And that's why I'm a Taoist. That's why I trust in the overall balancing component of the universe and have no worries. I fought my battle and I fought hard, and I wish I had more people to celebrate with, and instead of celebrating with those people turned on me at the very end. Like, it's so weird. Like, I don't know what fear that they got in them that made them do what they did, but I never had fear once. And the more they wronged me, the stronger I got. That thing right here that just knows you've been wronged and wants justice. This thing. And I have a lot of peace with my knowing the scriptures, and hanging out with my grandfather growing up he was a true saint, and I miss him every day. And I wish I could pass on the knowledge that I had to my son, but with America as it is and the world as it is, I'm pretty sure that I'm probably going to be murdered. Though I've said this before, and maybe me talking about it publicly has protected me somewhat, because it's out there. But I'm not afraid of it. If it comes, and I'll face it with dignity and with as much ferocity as I can pull forth. I just wanted us to go towards a better world. I wanted us to be like Camelot in the olden days, right? In the old stories, where every man was sat at the round table and there was no person higher than the other. There's no head. And at each end of the table, there was just a circle. I have all these higher beliefs in my heart. Like, I have all the higher virtues in me. I've read the scriptures. I've read the Tibetan Book of the Dead. I've studied it. And interestingly enough, I keep telling people, like, I've had plenty of psychedelic experiences, and none of them have shown me any Christian iconography. And I sought it. And I never saw it once. I saw many other things. I saw yin yang. I saw dragons. I saw Buddhas and bodhisattvas and dharma protectors and all sorts of this. I saw Brahman. I saw Phoenix. But no Jesus, no cross, no Star of David, none of that. I saw Baphomet once, trapped in some sort of energy pyramid prism. Saw Bhawan Samadhi, the voodoo priest, king. Yeah. All sorts of things. It's interesting. It's made me take a step back on, like, what is it that we're actually experiencing. I saw the samsara wheel. I saw the one where the demon's like devouring the wheel, and you see his head, and he's got his hands over it. I saw that. And the thing was, is like, I saw it and I was like, oh shit. And I could see in every portion of the thing where a different life that I had lived. And there was a lot of them. There was a whole lot of them. And I felt that every single one of them were a reflection of me. And it's a weird feeling to have. I never had the God feeling, though. There's some people that I know that have felt like, oh, that they were God or whatever. And I think as a Taoist, I don't really care if I'm God or not, if I'm a man or not, even if I'm a devil or not. I don't care, because I'm one with the Tao, and the Tao is one with me. And I feel that. It soothes my soul. There's another thing that I always bring up, but it's verse 31 of the Tao Te Ching. And it says, all tools of violence are detestable by decent men, but a decent man will know that when the time comes, he will pull his sword with the utmost sorrow and regret, because he understands the nature of the enemy he fights against are not demons, but human beings like himself. So he wades into battle as if attending his enemy's funeral. I was around in the military people who celebrated each death. And secretly in my heart, I didn't. I carried the weight of them. I still do. And now every person who has died in this whole Ghazian conflict in Syria, in Iran, everyone, like, I feel their deaths. I feel them. And I feel the evil of the people that are Benjamin Netanyahu and the oligarchs that are trying their best to influence politics around the world. It's Elon Musk is a dumbass. Like, when you really just dig into who these people are and what they've done, they're just Zuckerberg is oh my god, they're so evil. They're evil. They're wicked. They're wicked. And I have an incredible amount of resentment towards them for fucking the lives up of my fellow fucking man that I fought to protect and serve. I'm a servant. If I were to say that I was of two classes or even three, because I'm definitely not a merchant, I'd be a warrior servant or a warrior sage. I think I've had to earn the sage position, but like, I was always a good boy. I did what I was told. I didn't get what I wanted out of it, but except for I now know what is right and wrong. You know, I know how to behave and act and how I, be treated as you would like to be treated. And, there's also the Taoist principle of reciprocity. If you bless me, I will bless you beyond compare. Or if you are good to me, I will bless you beyond compare. If you insult me, I will punch you. If you punch me, I will break your arm. If you break my arm, I will break your leg. If you break my leg, I will put you in the ground. No. Don't turn the other cheek. There's no need to. Treat everyone right. But when someone treats you like shit or treats you wrongly, stand the fuck up for yourself. No. I think that this whole turn the other cheek and non-violence principle ultimately that's the goal. Like, we don't want violence against one another. Like, that's actually why you learn martial arts, is so that you don't have to use it, but you are capable and ready to use it if you need be, because there are fucking dumb people out there. I've been attacked. I was attacked by my sister's fucking baby daddy. And he was like, oh, I'm going to shut you up. Like, someone should have shut you up a long time ago. And we fucking fought. And the only reason I won was because I had mastered my craft. And I still keep my senses and my skills as sharp as I can make them with the limitations that I have. And the only thing that he got a fucking sucker punch on me after I tried to hug him. Like, I was like, you feel better now? You feel fucking better? And I tried to hug him, and he just like clocked me on the noggin. Jesus. I always thought that someone like me would get people to, like, I don't know. I never wanted followers. When I was in Airman Leadership School, they put me as a leader of all the idiots. Like, it was probably the worst class. Most of my Airman Leadership School kids were fucking rejects. Like, they'd never been overseas. They never worked a real mission. They never knew what was at stake. And they were administrative idiots that brought their office drama to the leadership school and tried to fucking. They made me the bad guy. I was okay with being the bad guy. I'm okay with being the person that you don't like, as long as it means that we're doing the right fucking thing. Because one girl in particular, all she showed me was that she was unfucking disciplined and didn't deserve her rank. And had I been the commandant of the fucking thing and bore witness to it, I told them what was going on, and they saw it, and they did nothing. And I think that was just how are you going to handle it? And I endured it. I went on like I didn't fucking care. But that group of people were some of the stupidest fucking idiots I'd ever witnessed in the military. And part of the reason why there should be greater fucking vetting efforts rather than using the military as a poverty draft, we should actually refine our members into fucking professionals and expect more from them. The very fact that Pete Hegseth will not disobey a direct order from Donald Trump is a very violation of Sun Tzu's treatise, The Art of War, where he says that if the sovereign gives a bad order, it is the general's professional purpose to tell him no, and then to tell him why that is not a good idea. And instead, we have a bunch of fucking yes men in charge of nuclear missile codes. Now, I know that there are people that will watch this in certain levels of the government. People that have been told to watch me and monitor me and handle me in whatever way you fucking can. Most of my shit on social media has been shadow banned. I'm heavily... It's funny that Zuckerberg is getting rid of the fucking fact checkers on Meta, because it was because of his fucking fact checkers that all my information that I put forth would get marked as being misinformation, even though I've been academically validated on every fucking media platform in the fucking world. Mark Zuckerberg, I couldn't wish anything worse upon you than you being you. And you should be fucking embarrassed about who you fucking are. You should be repentful. You should be full of repentance. And then doing whatever it is that you fucking can to make shit right. Because at least you're an American citizen. Elon Musk has overstepped his fucking bounds, and he might be a American citizen by because he has a lot of money, but he wasn't born here. He's got other loyalties. As bad as you think that I am, my loyalty will always be to my service and my duty. And I have no chain of command, and that's why I still consider myself a sergeant, because I'm Ronin. Masterless. And I took my oaths seriously. And when I stepped forth upon the battlefield of the stage, I didn't actually expect it to be so unfair, but I also didn't expect to survive it. The fact that I've survived it, and I've spent the last year really hard reflecting on my entire fucking life. And I cut out my family, I cut out my mother, I cut out my sisters, I cut out everyone. Because none of them have taken this shit as seriously as I have. And I do 100% blame the state of the fucking world on them and people like them. Because for 12 fucking years, I fought a very public and hard battle against the government. And people would say, oh, the government wouldn't do something like that. Yeah, the government fucking would. Now look at what they're doing. The government hasn't interfered in my fucking life in every fucking way they could, just to prove that they have power over me somehow. But all that's done is show me how much power that I have, that they would waste fucking time and money when all I'm trying to do is make my country a better fucking place. and represent them the best that I fucking can. And I've treated people incredibly well compared to how they've treated me. And now that I'm done with it, I'm the bad guy. I can take that. When we stand before God and all of creation, we are judged for our deeds. I know that I could stand before God and give him my life and be like, I did all this in service to you, sir. And I ask for justice. And even if that justice means me losing all my merit and for going into heaven and going into the deepest bowels of hell, I will be reborn there. And I will be unaffected by them. And I will hunt down the fucking wicked souls and make sure that they are removed from the pattern of rebirth and death. Because there's no fucking way that I would ever allow the continuation of this bullshit in my existence. If I can gain whatever power that I can gain, if these Aleister Crowley books on magic are real and all these ancient practices are more than just fantasy and myth, then I'm going to find that power that will bring justice and balance to this world. And that's it, because you took everything that I fucking loved. You spoiled it. You spoiled what I loved for your own fucking pleasure. And I pray that I will be God's fucking instrument for your stupid ass. I'll be judgment and justice. I am ready to go to war against Donald fucking Trump and these fucking tech bro oligarchs, as per the Constitution of the United States allows us to stand up to tyranny. I won't have a weapon or a knife, but I will have a wooden sword. The same wooden sword that my fucking government said that they were threatened of when I presented it as a fucking tool for practicing. When I presented it, this is the fucking thing. They said that I banged this. One of the reasons they arrested me was threats and intimidation of a government official. And it was because they said that I banged this thing on the table and yelled at them through it. When I didn't, I had my wooden sword and I was like, this is a tool that you use to practice. And if you have a because they were saying that the tax fraud scam that they were using was the only tool that they had that was broken. But I was like, you cannot use a broken tool to fix a problem. A broken tool will just create more problems. And I brought in this. I was like, this is the most basic. This is a stick in the shape of a practice sword. If I had a broken stick and was using it for practice, I would not be able to perform the practice. And thus, in a real situation, I would fail. If you use a fucking broken tool to fix a broken problem, you will fucking fail. They jailed me for that. Said I banged it on the table. And they had a year and a half to review the video and change their stance. And when we reviewed the video in court, I did not bang it on the table or threaten them with it. But I will threaten people with it now. And not as like I'm going to beat you with it, but it is my divine instrument. You can think of it as a magic wand. And that magic wand, I will be waving the fuck around as much as I can in freedom of fucking speech. And I will use that as a demonstration on why our government is so fucking stupid and corrupt. Because even after 4 years that this has happened, I still have not been given justice. In fact, when I was pursuing justice, the lawyer that I had ended our contract 30 days before because he said, oh, there's no way that we could win. And I found out that I was blacklisted from every law firm in the fucking state, including the ACLU Montana. So I was definitely wronged. And I was told by some lawyer friends that I know that I could actually sue this lawyer that had previously tried to represent me because he didn't follow through and he dropped me before I could there's no way that I could have found fucking help in that time. I reached out interstate. I reached out internationally. Not a single person fucking helped me. Not a single person lifted their fucking finger to help me. And that's not on me. That's on them. It's a direct reflection of what is happening now. Like, I feel like if I had been given justice, we would be in a better position right now to help people, to stand up and fight against the fucking bullshit going on. And instead, all I've been shown is that we have no justice in this system. We just have people spending a lot of fucking money. And so we need to remove money from politics, just as we removed religion from politics, because all money is a different type of religion. It's a different type of worship. You can't serve two masters, God or mammon, right? Why, if we do not allow God in our politics, why do we allow mammon? One of the things that I fucking hate about the white people around me is how weak they fucking are. And they'd say, well, Brandon, if you're so smart, why don't you do something? What have you done about it? Are you fucking kidding me? The amount of effort and shit that I've had to deal with people around me. And I'm really glad that I came across this wisdom also from Sun Tzu's The Art of War, is that you can know how to conquer without being able to do it. And actually getting people to stand up for their fucking self, to do the thing, has been the most disheartening experience in my entire life. The fact that I have, after all this time, I have no one that I can truly rely on, my own age, in my generation, is astounding. The fact that all the women in my life have treated me so fucking terribly and then expected me to take it, and then me asking for even just the breadcrumbs of love was too much for them. American society is fucked. Men and women. Like, you guys are just fucked. You did it yourself. I don't even blame Donald Trump or the GOP anymore. I blame the average American for their bullshit that they've tolerated. The Dems don't think that they're a cult, but they've allowed the Dems to get away with more persecution of whistleblowers than any other time. They've allowed them to sell out to Israel and be complicit in their war over in the Middle East. They've allowed us to be ran and manipulated by corporations and not really doing anything for the American people. You know, not doing anything right by them, at least. And yeah, it's a real thing. I don't know what to do. I have no money. I'm living in the back of a fucking farm out of a bus that is run down that I thought that I could get fixed up. And I haven't been able to even save money because I've had to move all over the place. I've been betrayed by fucking everybody trying to get my feet under my fucking self, and sabotaged by my fucking family and my friends. Every time I get a leg up, it's someone comes down and pushes me the fuck down. And I'm getting back on my feet, but I got nothing. I got nothing to give. I'm burnt out. You know, you can see my TikTok, you can see my social media. I've had to make my Meta and most of my American social media a dumpster fire because of all the stupid fucking threats and idiots that would come along and throw hate my way. And instead of people protecting me and standing up for me, people just decide to turn away from me. So that's why I have no faith in the American people. I have no trust in Americans. Definitely no trust in the government. Having been recognized by my former command that I didn't do this thing, the whistleblowing, to hurt them, but to bring honor, has been actually a soothing balm for me. Because ironically enough, I don't hate my command. I feel bad that we were misused for the wrong purposes. And even they were misled. We were all misled. I'm not saying that we could have seen it, but we should have. And the only way forward is for us to fix it. And I think the only men that could do it are military men who have no corporate connection. And women, but I'm talking from a man's perspective, from what I would like to see out of my fellow men is the military men stand up and actually level up from the physical battlefield into the political battlefield and take that on. I'd like to see actual letter agencies take a good look at themselves and start changing themselves for the better, because nothing's working. Nothing you're doing is working. It's just been one bad thing after another, and you had to know that it was going to come back at you at some point. You had to know that it was going to crush you at some point. There's no way that you can escape the lies and the deceit and the greed. Even if you don't physically feel it, like, it would crush your soul. And that you don't see past it. Oh my God. It's horrific. What I see in my mind's eye is horrific on the American planescape. What I see for Montana is just horrific. We need a miracle at this point. And the only miracle that I could think of is Mother Nature just fucking us up so bad that we have to get our shit together. Since we're too busy fighting fucking one another, we're going to have to get our fucking shit together for survival. And we can't do that with billionaires and millionaires who have the ability to help their fellow man and they don't. And I think that's good enough for me. I'll see you next time.